We have made the necessary arrangement for this, and you know, election is a cycle. And when you finish one, you start from. So we have been preparing for the past 4 years, and just this time now is the climax of the whole thing. Yesterday, we have distributed non-sensitive material a long time ago, but yesterday we went to the central bank to collect the sensitive material, and it has been distributed to the local government area. And this afternoon, we are going to set up the rack center at 12 o'clock. And from there, all the officers, SPO, all the officers that are supposed to work at REC, they must be there by 6, including the polling presiding officers, assistant presiding officers, and the RAC tech people. So all of them will be there. Then from there, 6 o'clock tomorrow, people will start moving to their polling units. And we plan to have the polling units set up latest by 8 o'clock, so that people can start coming to vote by 8:30. We are expecting the 3 by polling units, which is 2,445, and you are expecting officers at local government area, which is over 177, and the state office. So I can't put in my head, this is the total calculation. We are well prepared. We've been having regular meetings with ICES. So Intra-Agency Consultative Committee on Electoral Security. So they map out strategies on how to take care of all these strategic things. For there must be enough education to the people, not to buy vote, not to sell vote. People must change their mindset on the electoral process. They must not see during the election as James okay every time. That's the only time they can change their life. No. Until we can get through that proper way of educating people, you still have this incidence of vote buying. Vote buying comes in various forms. But the people that we see on the election day, those are the ones that we will see. And the ICPC, is the responsibility of the ICPC and EFCC to do that. It's not the responsibility of INEC. The deepest challenge, fake news by the media people. That is the truth. It's the fake news that cause what they call it, panic within the system. When people are writing stories that are not true and trying to frighten people, like that many people are kidnapped somewhere, this is happening when you have not even visited the place and when you don't know what is happening. So that's a major threat to this electoral process. And when we are doing the, what they call it, not mock, when they are doing the party primaries, then they told us that one person was kidnapped at Ileje, whereas the person was, the kidnapping was masterminded. So the person was eventually arrested. Like that kind of thing. Now, when you say Ileje, people say they are kidnapping there, based on that, which is a fake news. Okay? And there are so many incidents like that there's the violence in the Ikere, PVC collection, when people are collected, whereas it was one of the candidates that kidnapped the chairman of a local government, and they took him to their house and started beating him, but they were stupid enough to video the thing, and the video went out, and the police went there and arrested them. Okay? But so far, so good in Ekiti. The political parties have been behaving well. I've not had any incidents of fight, any incidents of thuggery since the time the parties have been on. The challenges of logistics, transporters, and we have been able to map out, do proper matrix of our transportation, knowing the number of vehicles that we go to each area. We have been able to know where we will need Okada. We have been able to map out where we need all those tricycle. So being able to map out those ones out. And also we have been able to make sure that the transporters are given their money, and we have told them that there is need for them to pay the drivers. You know, when you have middleman issue, someone will just go and bring a transport, get a driver, and he will not pay the driver, and the driver will say, I will not go until I'm paid. So all those ones, we have make sure we find a way of stopping that by making sure even the vehicles they will bring, sometimes you see some vehicles, you shake your head. So we have been able to do the mapping, and we have given the transport owners to give us the list of their vehicles, put the plate numbers, the name of the driver, and the phone number of the drivers. And we have sent this to the road safety. And the road safety are the local government and checking of the vehicles. They have started that one since Monday, and they have a sticker that certifies the vehicle that we are going to use. And we have passed also the list to DSS and to the police. Okay? And when they look at the name of some people, they don't have driver's license, they won't allow you to take the vehicle. So those are the kind of things we have put in place. And we are very in good contact with the roads, with the transport union, because if you don't talk with their leader, so their leader is the one that can handle them properly. And we make sure that they are adequately paid what is meant for them. Nobody is shortchanging them. So, and I've told them, the DSS have told them, if you mess up, you have breached the contract. So we are good to go.
Thank you very much.
Yes.